Don't swipe or click away because here it's Snow First Look. Just 2 days after the second episode of House of the Dragon aired on HBO Max, this headline popped up on the independent.co.uk website. Game of Thrones fans spot major clue hinting that Jon Snow spin-off is underway, plus a few key details. Then Esquire magazine ran a similar article, and that's when it all started. This was more than enough for rumors to begin to spread. Fan theories on Reddit, articles by small websites, YouTube videos outlining the plotline of the sequel, it was too much. So now the question becomes, why did a major publication like The Independent decide to write an article about a possible sequel starring Kit Harington as Jon Snow? Game of Thrones, one of the most popular TV shows of all time, ended Jon Snow's story with him joining the wildlings as they travel up north. So this leaves a lot of room for developing a fresh and exciting story which will feature the most popular Stark Targaryen outcast. So let's get back to the article that started it all. The hint that the writer's talking about has to do with a Redditor with the username Mamula1 who uploaded this. Daniel West, who was the writer and producer on Gunpowder 2017, together with Kit Harington, has this on his profile. So as we expected, he's probably working with Kit on Jon Snow's sequel, and we have confirmation that this will be limited series. Then he uploaded a screenshot from Daniel West's profile on his agent's website. In it, you can read that he's working with HBO on a limited series, and his role in the production is untitled. In the past, we know that Gunpowder was a miniseries developed by Kit Harington and Daniel West. It was a miniseries and it only had 3 episodes in a single season, starring Kit Harington himself. From this, we know that Daniel West is no stranger to HBO.
If you have any last words, now is the time.
You shouldn't be alive. It's not right.
But what does this have to do with anything? Daniel West is someone who wrote on a movie with Kit Harington in the leading role. Why should this be an indication of an upcoming sequel to Game of Thrones? Well, if you know anything about Kit, you know that Daniel smashed that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, we should tell you that Daniel West is his best friend in real life. They're seen together very often, and they were even roommates for over a decade at one point. Needless to say, these guys are close in their personal and business lives. But how do we know this show will be about Jon Snow? We can't know for sure. It could be another miniseries that they're working on again with HBO. It's not going to be the first time, however, since Kit Harington and Daniel West are co-owners of Thricker Films, a company that started together. So it's not that they're just writing partners, they're business partners and pals. And to make matters doubly interesting, here's what George R.R. Martin wrote on his website, weighing in on the series and what he thinks about a new Kit Harington show. Yes, it was Kit Harington who brought the idea to us. I can't tell you the names of the writers showrunners since that hasn't been cleared for release yet, but Kit brought them into his own team and they're terrific. There, now you know that Jon Snow, Kit Harington, is building his personal team, which means there's a major possibility Daniel West will be part of it. And they're negotiating the production of a sequel for the show. R.R. Martin even said that the show's working title will be Snow, but that's yet to be determined. George R.R. Martin revealed a lot on his website, namely, we know that there's another miniseries in the works titled The Tales of Dunk and Egg. They're going to be taking the series of 3 novellas by George R.R. Martin, and they're going to be adapting them for a new show. And if the show is anything like the book, we'll get to see the future Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, Sir Duncan the Tall, and future King Aegon V Targaryen as they take on new adventures. But this show will be released about a year after the release of House of the Dragon. He also pointed out a story from The Hollywood Reporter and said that James Hibbert was correct in assuming that there will be a show about Jon Snow. He then continued to reveal that HBO was working on 4 live-action successor shows. They wanted to keep them a secret, but 3 of the titles were leaked.
Beginning tonight, King's Landing will learn to fear the color gold.
The first one was 10,000 Ships, a story about Nymeria with Amanda Segel at the top. The second was 9 Voyages, also known as Sea Snake, which would be with Berno Heller. And the third one was The Hedge Knight or The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, aka The Dunk and Egg Show, which would be written by Steve Conrad. However, the 4th show remained a secret until relatively recently. But the show that they tried to hide, just like the other 3, has finally been leaked. There are rumors that we'll get to see Jon Snow in a sequel or a prequel. In the interview with The Hollywood Reporter, George R.R. Martin refused to give any information regarding the show.
I don't know how to ride a dragon. Nobody does, until they ride a dragon.
But James Hibbert managed to find someone willing to leak the information. No one knows who this is, but since the leak was confirmed by George R.R. Martin himself, we're gonna say kudos to Hibbert for excellent journalism. Now, after the rumors began to spread in midsummer, people began asking actors like John Bradley, Gwendolyn Christie, and Maisie Williams how they would feel about reprising their roles. John Bradley said, "I haven't spoken to anybody about the potential Jon Snow prequel, but if somebody wants to send a script my way, I'd be interested to read it," in an interview with Digital Spy.
So you're the man?
Which man am I, Your Grace?
Maisie Williams was particularly excited about this show, saying, "Everything surrounding the story of God is interesting. We had such a rich show, and there's still so much story to tell. I think it's really exciting, and I think that Kit is such a phenomenal actor. Him playing Jon Snow was just like a cultural reset. I think everything that he touches is magic, and I'm excited to see what it's gonna be."
But I'm not a lady. I never have been.
And of course, here's what Gwendolyn commented on the rumors. "Brienne of Tarth is incredibly close to my heart, and I would relish any opportunity to revisit her. I believe she's endearing." So will this show be a prequel or a sequel? If it's a sequel, then we might get to see Jon Snow make his way back from the north and finally ascend the throne. He and the wildlings might reveal that he's the Targaryen ruler and the rightful heir to the throne, and a bloody battle might ensue. Even though Jon Snow never wanted the throne, watching a show about him and the wildlings up north will not be as exciting as our first prediction. But what if they decide to go for the prequel? Maybe they'll follow Ned Stark and Robert Baratheon as they take on the Targaryen royal family. Then we might get to see how the bloody rebellion unfolded, and we'll finally get to see how Jon Snow grew up. We'll also get to see how Daenerys Targaryen fled alongside her brother from the capital and went to the east.
You stand in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne.
Whichever direction the show decides to go, don't expect to see Emilia Clarke in the role of Dany in any of the upcoming shows. Why? Because the actress said she's ready to move on from her role as Daenerys and thinks she had a good run. On a related note, do you think HBO will actually go for a show featuring the Starks and Jon Snow himself? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.